Hi, and welcome to another edition of the Rice Report. I'm so happy that you could join me for another inside look into what's happening in my office, your office here in Rockville at the Montgomery County Council. I wanted to give you an update on what we're working on so far, which of course, as many of you have heard, is our county's budget. We've been presented with both our capital and operating budget and face very serious fiscal challenges. Those are basically dependent upon the state and what has happened, as I'm sure that you've seen. The Maryland General Assembly actually passed what they are referring to as a doomsday budget. This doomsday budget reflects cuts to both education as far as geographic cost of education index, as well as cuts to libraries and public safety venues as well. And so it's very concerning for us to make sure that there is a solution that's found. But I do want to remind my constituents that keep in mind the proposals that were presented by the General Assembly were actually just as bad. So to refer as one as a doomsday cut and the other is not, I think is disingenuous. We are looking at serious cuts that the county is going to have to face and deal with regardless of what kind of budget the General Assembly passes, and I want to make sure you're aware of that. So we continue to work with the stakeholders. I know that President Roger Berliner and Vice President Navarro are working hand in hand with leaders of the Montgomery County delegation, including Brian Feldman as well as Jamie Raskin, to try and come up with a resolution in the special session that will protect Montgomery County's interests. As the MACO representative, I stand ready to be utilized in any role necessary to make sure that we can continue to ensure that Montgomery County continues to thrive and that we're extremely successful out of this upcoming budget negotiation. I want to talk to you about education because there's been a lot of activity on that front. Most recently, we had the Superintendent's Leadership Program Council that came to the Montgomery County Council and presented to myself as well as Councilmember Phil Andrews. And these are great students that took time out of their busy senior schedules to make sure that they volunteered and gave back during these last upcoming months. And I think it's extremely important that the superintendent is supporting a program that makes sure that we develop the whole child. We focus on academics so much, but it's very important to also focus on the other aspects of being a good person and a good community steward. And this program does just that in developing them. So congratulations to all of those students that participated. We've had some great successes. Rachel Carson Elementary School actually received a Blue Ribbon Award. And we had extreme successes in District 2. Bob Demerg, principal of Damascus High School, was named our Principal of the Year. And we also had Montgomery County Teacher of the Year, Christy Ground, that was named. She's our English teacher at Northwest High School. And we also had other finalists, including Judith Chen from Clarksburg High School and Heidi Dupree from John T. Baker Middle School. This is a phenomenal testament to the great work of District 2 and its education system, and the great work of our Board of Education and Superintendent Josh Starr. They've done a fantastic job in expecting nothing but the best from our teachers and our students, and I'm so happy to see that that's coming to fruition. Now, I wanted to talk to you about a number of other events that I had the opportunity of attending over these past few months. One of them included Aunt Hatties Place 15th anniversary, and this is actually a group home for young boys that are at risk. And this is a phenomenal place where she actually takes in boys that would have been on the street and quite frankly could have ended up in our Clarksburg jail. And she shows them the love and nurture that unfortunately they didn't have in their lives and have been able to turn their lives around and now become productive citizens. We're actually working with one of the graduates of Aunt Hattie's Place and making sure that they actually have a job. And we're working with the Associated Builders and Contractors and Don Spence to make that happen. And I wanted to send a special thank you to them for their hard work in ensuring we can deliver on that American dream of making sure that everybody has access to employment. I also had the opportunity of attending the Marty Dinner, which is the Maryland Association of Turkish Immigrants. And it's a fantastic opportunity to bring together stakeholders from a myriad of different backgrounds to come together to talk about how we can develop community and focus on peace. It's a great dialogue and an opportunity for us to, again, try and find some of the commonalities between all walks of life and make sure that we're all talking about that common goal of shared interest in making sure that Montgomery County and Maryland is successful. Just this past weekend, I attended the Loaf Annual Citizens Association meeting, and it was a phenomenal success. I was blessed to be their guest speaker and had an opportunity to talk to them about the environment and the agricultural reserve. And I assured them that my commitment is to make sure that the agricultural reserve is protected and is here to stay for years upon years for our children and our children's children. It is very, very imperative that along with that mission, we ensure that the success of farmers and farming is a number one priority. And so to that end, we have proposed creating a magnet program that focuses solely on farming and hopefully would be located in our agricultural reserve. We'll be working with our Board of Education as well as superintendent and community stakeholders over the next few months to hopefully make that a reality. And I'm very excited about the opportunity to work with the community and the Citizens Association and the board and our educational stakeholders to make sure that that happens. And most recently, we had our Tennisplex groundbreaking at the Montgomery County Soccerplex in Germantown. So now it's actually duly named for both the tennis and soccerplex. And it's a great opportunity for us to again focus on the holistic development of all of our children and adults. As we talk about healthy living and healthy well-being in Montgomery County, it's great to have an opportunity to support all different kinds of sports. And so we're very happy to see that Jack Shore, world phenom tennis coach, is actually coming to Germantown, and we'll have this fantastic facility that's being built. Now, a lot of you recently celebrated Take Your Child to Work Day, and so it was a great pleasure in having my daughter be able to come with me and take a look at what her father does day in and day out. Unfortunately, she doesn't get a lot of time to watch the Rice Report as you are, but I hope that she gained some insight into the great work that's being done here at the Council and how important it is to each and every one of you. And to that end, I want to make sure that you remain connected and keep in contact with us about issues that are affecting you. I always invite you to contact my office via phone at 240-777-7955. You can also reach out to us on Facebook. It's Councilmember Craig Rice. You can reach us on Twitter. It's @RicePolitics. And of course, you can always email us. It's councilmember.rice@montgomerycountymd.gov. As we finalize our budget over the next few weeks, I encourage you to remain in contact and let us know what's working and what's not. And as always, I want to hear from you. It's extremely important that we create a partnership so that we are together in developing Montgomery County's future. I thank you again for tuning in to another edition of the Rice Report, and God bless.